So many right wing politicians and commentators are scrambling to try to play defense for Donald Trump in the wake of his 91 criminal charges against him, and of course, multiple indictments. And Caitlyn Jenner is one of these people. Now, look, I find it, I find it kind of astonishing that Caitlyn Jenner can pretend at this point in time, like, you know, well, Republicans are okay with me being one of them, and I'm welcomed in the club, even though now you have multiple conservative states trying to ban gender affirming care, even for adults. It's not just about the kids. They were lying when they said it's just about the kids. That's not true. There's at least 5 or 6 states, I actually think the number's up to about 9 now, that they want to ban gender affirming care, even up to the age of 26 years old. So it's just astonishing to me that she could pretend like, they're not against you, full stop. Like, just you, who you are, your whole way of being. They're against you. They don't like you. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. She comes out, and she is desperately trying to defend Donald Trump, and she gives us something. This went viral because everybody was like, really? For real, Caitlyn? Seriously? Listen to this.
You know, I am a proud American. I love this country. I am the child of a World War II veteran. I grew up a patriot. I was the first person to put up a flag at the finish line, the good old US of A. Why? Because I was so proud of my country. And I have to say today, and watching all this come down, this is the first time I've ever been ashamed of my country and what is going on. I mean, we look at elections in Venezuela and other places in the world, these third world countries, and we are turning into that person. We are turning into that country, and that's a shame.
So this is the first time you've ever been ashamed of your country. She's 73 years old. So let's start with the low-hanging fruit. Let's go with the easy points. On January 6th, you weren't ashamed of what happened there and what those people were doing? On January 6th, the day when they, tried, however pathetic the attempt was, to overthrow the election, that wasn't a moment where you were like, I don't know about all this. She was in her teens during the civil rights movement. So Bull Connor sicking the dogs and the fire hoses on peaceful protesters who just want equal rights, that wasn't something where you went, I'm kind of ashamed of the way the government is working down there. I'm going to take a bold stance here against segregation. She was a teenager when segregation was still happening. She goes, no, this is the first time I'm ashamed of my country. It's what's happening. It's what's happening with Trump. By the way, even if I accept her framework, right, this is the 91st criminal charge against Trump. If you were going to go with this line of thinking, wouldn't you say, when the first criminal charges against him drop, that's the thing, the first time I'm afraid of something. So even from, her own goofy perspective, this makes no sense. But, guys, I hate to be that guy. I hate to be, the super autistic, technicality cop here. But for the love of God, look at, the Vietnam War. I don't think people have really fully grappled with what the Vietnam War was. It was a war of aggression by the United States of America where we used napalm and Agent Orange on innocent civilians, women and babies. They say not until 1995 did Vietnam release its official estimate of war dead. As many as 2 million civilians on both sides and some 1.1 million North Vietnamese and Viet Cong fighters. We massacred civilians on the regular over there. That's not in dispute. The Iraq War. Oh, God. See, that was part of my political awakening, was the Iraq War. You were able to see the whole Iraq War thing, where they literally lied us into an illegal and offensive war, said Saddam Hussein was responsible for 9/11 and was working with Osama bin Laden. None of that was true. Even the weapons of mass destruction thing that they moved the goalposts, that wasn't true. We illegally and offensively invaded a country, killed minimum 200,000 innocent civilians, did torture to cover it up, and at no point were you like, hey, man, I'm a little ashamed of this. How am I supposed to get through to these people? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do to try to break the spell from somebody like Caitlyn Jenner? Is it even possible? Is it not possible at all? I mean, because they're making it hard. When you say something that absurd, here, I'm going to play it one more time. I'll play it one more time.
I am the child of a World War II veteran. I grew up a patriot. I was the first person to put up a flag at the finish line, the good old US of A. Why? Because I was so proud of my country. And I have to say today, and watching all this come down. This is the first time I've ever been ashamed of my country and what is going on. I mean, we look at elections in Venezuela and other places in the world, these third world countries, and we are turning into that person. We are turning into that country.
I'll never be able to get my mind around the perspective, this default perspective. Well, obviously Trump didn't do anything wrong. Obviously there's nothing criminal. Is there a single right-wing commentator or politician who has gone charge for charge with Trump and explained why each and every charge of the 91 criminal charges is illegitimate? They purposefully avoid discussing the specifics because they cannot win on the specifics. So they just talk at the macro level, like, oh, election interference, oh, free speech, oh, whatever, fill in the blank. It's just, it's so sad. And it's so dumb. But anyway, there you have it. What is there to even say in response to this? Okay, this is just embarrassing and humiliating for Caitlyn Jenner. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.